of the now shuttered Hollydale Golf Course in Plymouth plan to sell the land to a developer. That has residents worried about what comes next.
Bigger is not always better. The city needs to maybe think about how much growth we're going to have and if that's really the best thing for this community.
Shelley Bechtold is a member of the group Preserve Hollydale Green Space. They want to prevent developers from converting Hollydale's 160 acres of land into single-family homes. And while the city hasn't received a formal application for development, the group cites concerns such as increased traffic on Plymouth roads, crowded schools in the Wayzata district, and the loss of green space.
This is enough growth. We have enough houses in Plymouth now, and that we need to have green space. We need to have places for people to go and get away from all of the traffic. We need to think about what we want Plymouth to be.
In anticipation of development plans, Plymouth city officials have started an environmental review and traffic analysis. The city council likely won't see a formal plan until 2020. A new housing report shows vacancy rates at their lowest levels in 10 years, while average rent costs have increased dramatically. The report by the nonprofit Minnesota Housing Partnership shows the average rent in Hennepin County rose 20% since the beginning of the decade, now up to $1,300. Some of the biggest increases came in cities like Golden Valley, up 33% to more than $1,500 per unit. Maple Grove, which saw a 26% spike to nearly $1,600. Even cities like Brooklyn Park, which has more affordable housing, saw a 21% rise to $1,100. Besides low vacancy rates, the report points to another reason for the higher rent. New construction is largely limited to high-end multifamily apartments. The report raises concerns about a growing affordable housing crisis. A vacant piece of land in Brooklyn Center is one step closer to becoming affordable housing. The block along Bass Lake Road and Xerxes Avenue was once home to a Jerry's Foods. Now a St. Paul developer plans to construct 2 buildings with 270 affordable housing units. One would be for independent senior living, the other for so-called workforce housing. Last month, the Brooklyn Center City Council approved a financing package that will allow the developer to borrow around $9 million at a low interest rate. That money will help fund the senior housing.
And so seeing, kind of a long vacant site in the city be redeveloped, particularly into housing, I think we're really excited about the idea of having a lot of more activity on that corner, a lot more eyes on the street.
The city expects construction on the workforce housing building to begin in late December or early January. Construction on the senior building could begin several months later. We may be past peak fall colors, but those falling leaves are now top priority, especially when it comes to cleaning the streets. Neil Persley explains.
It's a pretty big job. We start mid-October, our fall sweep, and try to get through the city a complete full time, which takes a little over a month. Try to get through twice if we can. So we're basically sweeping until the snow falls.
The city of Crystal has been at it now every day since the leaves have begun their descent. And there are 1 or 2 things you can do to help.
Keep cars off of the street, garbage cans. They can also adopt a drain.
I'll have a link to the Adopt a Drain program on our website.
So we have about 90 miles of streets that we maintain.
Now, stop to think that each side of the street has a gutter that needs to be swept. That's 180 miles of street at about the pace of a brisk walk.
And the sweepers only go so fast. Otherwise, they're not going to pick up any of the leaves.
Crystal has 2 street sweepers, and chances are that by now you've probably seen them out and about. There's no schedule for specific streets that are going to get swept on a certain day. They're working as fast as they can and going as far as they can each day at only 5 to 7 miles an hour.
Our sweeping hours are 7:30 to 2. So any times between then, if cars can be off the road, garbage cans.
So help the city make a clean sweep of it this fall and enjoy the autumn colors while they last. In Crystal, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Maple Grove High School students are polishing up last-minute details for latest musical Ragtime.
In this show, everybody is split up into like racial groups. So we have the immigrants, we have Harlem, which is mostly African Americans. Immigrants are like Eastern European, and then we have the Rochelle, New Rochelle people, who are like American citizens, upper class, New York.
It's a large cast, and many details had to be worked out, from the full orchestra to the technical crew.
Anything you hear, we have speakers around the entire house that we've been calibrating and getting ready for opening night, so it's quite the long process to get us to the opening of the show.
The biggest challenge about Ragtime is that it's so large. Every story is gigantic in scope and told through a through line of a small group of people.
Opens this Thursday. Some people can find beauty in everyday moments, and some Plymouth residents capture those on camera. As we go to break, here are a look of some of the winning entries from the Picture Plymouth photo contest.
Maple Grove and Centennial battled for section titles in girls soccer the past 4 seasons. This year sections were realigned, so both teams advanced to the state tournament, and they met up for the state title on Halloween. First half, and Maple Grove's Kelly Klontz gets control, boots it into the left corner of the Centennial net, and it's 1-0 Crimson at halftime. Early in the second half, a nice turn with the ball by Emma Fournier. She lofts a perfect shot over the goalkeeper under the crossbar and in, and it's 2-0 Maple Grove. With under 20 minutes to play, the Cougars get one off the corner kick. Kaya Harper with the header for the goal. The All-Metro forward makes it 2-1. But there's no more scoring from there, and the Crimson celebrate their first state championship 2-1. Congratulations to Maple Grove.
I think it just all comes down to like our team's personality and how much all of us want this, and how like all the little things we do and how hard we're willing to work for it. And we knew we could match up with Centennial. They're a great team, and so is our team. So we just had to put it all out on the field, and we did that.
In volleyball, Wayzata has been one of the state's top teams this fall. They took aim at a section title when they faced St. Michael Albertville in the 5-3A final. Wayzata's Sophie Jesuits gets a piece of the ball as a blocker, then saves it. The ball comes back to her and she gets the kills. The Trojans take the first set 25-19. The second set is a great one. Olivia Johnson will set to Kate Long for the kill as Wayzata goes up 18-14. But the Knights come back strong. A dig by Sophie Fritz leads to a kill off the blockers by Michaela Henderson. STMA leads 21-20. Wayzata is able to pull it out though. Caitlin Emke gets the big block for set point, and the Trojans win at 28-26 to go up 2-0. And they dominate in set 3. Johnson with the back set to Elizabeth Helmick for the kill. And shortly after that, the Trojans celebrate a section title with a sweep of the Knights.
I love playing on this team because there are so many amazing hitters. It's nice to have some single block looks. Nobody really knows who's going to get set in any moment, so it's just great to be a part.
The state tournament starts Thursday at the XL Center. Well, 2 local teams reach the semifinals in Section 6-3A. The Hopkins Royals face the top seed Bloomington Jefferson. In the first set, Stella Swenson getting a part of the block there for Hopkins. Cassie Sealing floats a hit over the Hopkins defenders. Jefferson wins the first set 25-15. Set 2 is a battle. Shadir Tutt rips it home for a kill. It's 22-all. Lydia Nash answers with a strong attack. The Jaguars take the lead 25-24. And they win the set as Hopkins can't handle the serve. Jefferson wins it 28-26. In set 3, Sealing drops an ace serve into the back corner as the Jaguars take control. The Royals, though, come back. Tutt puts down another big attack, cutting the Jefferson lead to 20-13. But the Jaguars complete the sweep with a 25-17 win. Benilde lost to St. Louis Park in the other semifinal. Totino-Grace is the number 3 seed in Section 5 2A. That section had quarterfinal round matches earlier in the week. The Eagles are at home to take on 6th seed De La Salle. Grace is on the right in set 1. Abigail Zare catches the Islanders off guard with a setter dump. The Eagles take a 10-3 lead. After De La Salle closes the gap, Totino-Grace pulls away. Zare sets it to Bryn Smith for the cross-court attack. Grace takes the opening set 25-18. In the second set, the Eagles stay in control. Zare sets it back row for Riley Rios, and she pounds it down for a kill and an 18-7 lead. The Eagles take the second set 25-16. And they get the sweep in the third as Zare sets it for Smith, and she delivers again. The Eagles win 25-11. They beat Rockford in the semifinals to advance on to Saturday's final.